got flipped, turned upside down.
You know we're recording right now, right?
I'd like to take a minute. Just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
So you do the whole freaking thing?
I pulled up to a house in West Philadelphia, born and raised. You know, it's funny, if you ask people if they do the whole thing, they do the part just from the TV show.
Right.
But the real song is like 4 different verses.
Well, yeah.
There's a whole lot more to that song.
Yeah, it's only on the album, though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's the only way you can get it.
I had the album.
Thursday, this is the last show, and the voice you heard is one of the most iconic, ironic, and not even slightly moronic, Bigg Vinny.
Oh, no, there's a lot of moronic.
There's a lot of moronic.
There's a lot of ronics going on, that's for sure. I'm also bionic because I have a whole new ankle, going on since last time we talked.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's just one piece of metal in there, but that's one for now,
Well, I got steel rod in the left arm, steel rod in the left leg.
Was this a motorcycle wreck, or did you get in some bar fights?
No, the scars are from bar fights and stuff.
Right.
And that was all from a car wreck. Many moons ago.
But it's still holding up good.
Yeah. They told me probably in 10 years I'd have to have them took out, but 30 years later I'm still hobbling around. So.
Well, there you go.
And they ain't moved. They ain't done nothing. Oh, man. Dude, I can't believe you ran late.
I know, and that's because I'm slow, bro.
No, it's because of a valet service.
Well, I know but I should have made a time for that. But like I said, I was signing these autographs. I'm like, okay, they want me to be. I'm supposed to be done right at 4:30. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm done at 4:30, I can get up there at 4:45. I know we had set for 5. I was like, I think I could get up there real quick because it's not that far away from here.
Yeah.
But right now in traffic.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
It's insane down here. It's CMA Fest week. So
yeah.
But anyways,
and that's why
really what it was, it just took them forever to bring me my car because there was a lot of people trying to leave right at that time. So.
Yeah, well, see, that's why I was doing the live streaming this.
But I did run into the Low Cash boys, and they said to say what's up. So.
Oh, cool! Tell them to come on up. And
I know they need to get on the show.
Well, I'm gonna be at this location, which is Nash Vox Studios.
Yeah,
right here off 4th Avenue. I'm gonna be at this location for a good little bit.
Have you went over and talked to Chris Blair?
No.
You need to go. You know Chris, right?
Never met him.
Well, I'll introduce y'all because you being right here beside it, man, you could probably work in a deal with him where you're interviewing a lot of these artists that are playing there. Because it's added content, especially with you doing all the video and everything here.
Well, actually, I just thought I'd stand out there with a little sign, We'll record for free,
Hey, speaking of that, Godsmack you got on your shirt right now. I saw the first time I ever saw them was at Ozfest.
Yeah.
Like 2002 at the old amphitheater at what's it called? Starwood.
Yeah, the old Starwood. Yeah.
Back in the day, I saw them. Well, I saw the Ozfest, and then I saw Jimmy Buffett there.
Yeah. First time I ever seen him sing Godsmack was over at Bridgestone.
Yeah.
And they were opening for Metallica.
Oh, wow.
And
I love Metallica.
We had press box.
Come on with it.
Yeah. So we're sitting up there. We're hanging out. We're, putting a few back,
Kicking back on Grandpa's cold medicine.
And Godsmack comes on, and that was the first year that they did the dueling drum kits.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, Metallica came on, and I'm a Metallica fan.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
Whoa.
Godsmack blew them freaking out of the water.
That night, it was them, and then the other band was called Power Man 5000.
Yeah.
And both those bands I'd never heard of until we got there, and I was blown away by both of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
They were so good.
Well, I mean, Sully Erna, dude, he plays bass, guitar, piano, drums.
Oh, they're so good. And then Rob Zombie went on after them, and I was mortified because I had no clue it was like that,
Yeah.
Like, I'd always heard the name Rob Zombie, but I'd never experienced... I wasn't really a fan of Rob Zombie. I never listened to his music. I was, I'm a Christian boy from Perry County, Tennessee.
Well, so yeah,
I was like, I was not expecting all this, blatant disrespect for the Christian faith. But anyways,
it works for him.
Now, he put on a heck of a show. I mean, he was a phenomenal talent and done his thing. I didn't enjoy it, but I respect the fact that he's good at what he does. But then it started pouring down rain.
Mm-hmm.
It started like mudsliding out there. And whenever Ozzy came onto the stage, he started singing, "I'm singing in the rain."
Oh yeah.
I'm singing in the rain.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't expecting, because it's like, you think of Ozzy, you think of like Crazy Train or Mama, I'm Coming Home. That's
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
And but anyways, he got up there and he started singing I'm Singing in the Rain, and it was actually very beautiful. I mean, he's got a good voice anyways.
Yeah.
But
He's got one of those voices, man, that are just timeless.
Even when he's talking, it's like it's exactly who it is. Even if you can't understand a word he says.
Yeah.
But when he's singing, it's like it's always wondered this, like, how come when Keith Urban sings he don't have an accent, but when you talk to him in person, hi mate.
Yeah.
You know, and all that. But then when he's singing, it's like, dude, you just sound like every other country guy. Well,
it's like Brits.
Only better. He's really good.
Brits are the same way.
I know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Now they do use some words that we wouldn't normally say.
Well, yeah, and
they don't say fixin'.
No.
Don't say sensuous up.
No, they tend to refer to everything as getting it sorted.
Yeah.
You know, but I listen to that Adele with the carpool karaoke.
Oh yeah.
With James Corden.
Yep.
I watch that, man, and she's like cutting up and talking and everything, and then when she's singing, it's just like, how in the hell can you talk in Brit but sing in English?
I mean, they're both English theoretically.
Theoretically.
But one's like
Old English.
We come from the area where we took what they used to call Cockney, and then we made it worse than it was when it was Cockney.
Yeah.
You know, so
all kinds of crazy stuff.
We went from Cockney to country. Okay.
So where are you playing at this week?
So I did the cornhole tournament with Craig Campbell on Tuesday.
Did you win?
I got semifinals.
Good.
Craig ended up winning, but let me just say something. He had a ringer. He had a pro player with him.
Sweet.
That won the bid. Come on, Craig.
He cheated.
But I didn't get beat by Craig. I got beat by Jared Neiman and his partner, who also had their own bags.
Wait a minute now. I call regulation on this.
Yeah, I know. They should have to use those same slick bags we was using.
Exactly.
However, they beat us 21-1. So
yeah.
That's like whenever remember when the Colts were all mad at the Patriots for Deflategate?
Yeah.
They lost that game by like 40 points. So
yeah.
I don't think the ball ain't that big of a difference. You know?
Nah.
You might have been. Maybe you would have scored some more points, but
I think it played into it. I think they should have played regulation.
I agree.
Bringing your own bags is.
You know what? I'm officially the winner.
There
you can do that nowadays, even if you don't win.
Yeah, even if you're not even there.
Yeah.
You can just say you're the winner.
Yeah, you don't have to get a participation trophy. You can just get a patient trophy. Anyways, no, it was great. I did that. So then I did autographs today for Creative Vets booth inside the Music City Center and all that. And then tomorrow Saturday. Tomorrow I don't really have a whole lot. I'm taking care of my kids all day tomorrow, so it will be a whole lot, but not in the music world.
Oh yeah, you'll be exhausted by that.
I'll be really dog tired. But then Saturday from 4 to 6, I'm going to be hosting CMA Trivia.
Sweet.
At the Assembly Food Hall, and then from 6 to 7, me, Lance Carpenter, and Jared Blake will play a show, a 1-hour acoustic songwriter set, and I'm hosting that as well. And then from 7 to 8, the girls will be playing, and we got Jada Vance, Josh Phillips, and we're supposed to have Celeste Kellogg, but she had a situation come up with the family today, so.
I was trying to get her to come on the show.
Yeah, love Celeste. She's such a
she had some problems.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I felt bad for her, and she's like, she was worried I was gonna be upset with her. I'm like, girl, it's like first off, it was a free show.
Yeah, really.
And second off, your family's always first.
Every day.
And so anyways, I don't know the extent of the situation, but I know it was enough to make her. If you can make her not work and make her not come here, then I'm sure it was something serious, because that girl works her butt off.
Yeah. Well, our heart go out to her then.
Absolutely. And then so I'm gonna replace her with somebody. Even though we can't replace her, we're just gonna get a new person to come in and take that spot. So
stand in.
Stand in, yes.
Yeah, stand in.
But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Then Sunday I'll be back out at the Convention Center, Music City Center, whatever you want to call it, signing autographs for the Nashville Universe booth.
Sweet.
So, anyways.
You work too much.
I know. That's why I had to check my phone to make sure what time it is. But we're good. We got like 10 minutes left. So hit me with some big questions.
Big questions.
Let's talk about politics, religion, and her.
Okay. I'm gonna hit you with the question that Hannah Wright started this crap. And when she was on my show, she leaned across and she said, David, I heard you had some real in-depth questions for us, some real serious questions.
I like it.
Yeah, and I just looked at her, and I looked down at my paper, and I shuffled a couple of papers, and I was like, okay, you ready? She's like, yeah. And I said, do you hair blow or air dry?
God. I mean, I don't do either because I'm going bald, but I towel dry.
See, everybody's got their little thing.
Yeah. But I'd say my wife always says I got to dry my hair. She hair dries. But neither one of us have, she's got kind of shorter hair.
Yeah.
So, like, my first wife, because we still talk about that, right? Sorry, babe.
No
my
problem.
first wife was a little Puerto Rican girl, and she had more hair, and she was like a hair farmer.
Yeah.
And so she had a megaton of hair. So it was like an hour and a half thing to get that stuff dry.
Well, yeah.
My wife now is like 15 minutes, less than 10, like 10 minutes. Bam.
Oh, that's sweet.
Dry, ready to
You ain't
go.
got to worry about it.
I know. But anyways, so my, I guess, but you would say you're going to use the blow dryer. That's an interesting question.
Yeah, it is.
It's not as deep as I thought. It's deeper than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, there's actually a side note to it, and everybody's got a preference.
Yeah.
So it could go either way.
I'm a towel dryer.
Yeah. I want to talk about this podcast you've started, man.
Oh, yeah. You got to come on the podcast.
Well, I'll be
on our podcast to talk about your podcast. It's great.
Yeah, that's what you do.
So I originally was going to start it. It was going to be called Overall You.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be more of an educational type thing where I was going to teach people about weight loss, weightlifting, making it in the music business. And then it went from that to being, okay, let's talk about your mind, body, and soul. You get those three things because so many times a lot of guys that are in the gym, they work out their body, but a lot of times they don't work out their mind. Then you got guys that work out their mind, but they don't work out their body. And then you got people that work out both those, but don't work out their soul. And so I wanted to make it a plain thing was overall you. So it's everything about you, your mind, your body, and your soul.
Right.
And so I wanted to feature people on there. It's like from all walks of life. Because so many times we get caught up in this person is famous and they got this product and they're rich because they're famous or this or that. I want to show them that, hey, there's guys and girls out there in this world that live 2 doors down from you that are making millions of dollars a year doing something they love because they put in the grind and the work and stuff to make it happen. And you'll never know their name, but you could learn so much from them.
Yeah.
And so I'm featuring a lot of folks we're going to feature on there. Like I just featured my buddy Jamie, and this guy started his own door business that puts in garage doors.
Mm-hmm.
But he went from regular garage doors to commercial garage doors, and now he's doing like all the Amazon buildings and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, dude, he's rolling.
And he's multi-bazillionaire now, So yeah. But he was just old country boy from Georgia that said, "Hey, I know how to use tools and put in a door."
Yeah.
And so it's just cool to tell that story and be like, "Hey, man, I just knew how to work hard, and I had a skill and a trait that I could work with, and I just went and did it."
Well, that's the whole thing. A lot of people don't realize there's so many things out there that people can do, but for some reason, people have lost the drive.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and I'm sure probably you may have went through this because I went through this. It's like you tell a family member or something like this is what I'm kind of looking at wanting to do, and they're the first one to shoot you down.
Yeah, a lot of times your greatest supporter is somebody you've never met. And, what I've realized is those people that are close to you, the reason they're shooting it down or saying no is because it's not because they hate you or they don't believe in you. It's because they don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And by default, they're scared that you might go out there and get hurt. You might go out there and get heartbroken. You might go out there and fail. But to me, in life, I would rather fall and fail 1,000,000 times reaching for something that I want than to go to my grave with all this regret of like, man, what if I would have tried that?
Yeah, exactly.
What if I would have done it? And so it's kind of what our podcast is about, is just like letting you know, like, hey, you can do it too.
Oh yeah, anybody can do it. You just gotta focus. You gotta drive. And I had a conversation with another person. For the life of me, I can't remember who it was, but we were talking about it.
Johnny Cash.
No, it wasn't Johnny Cash.
Could have been.
No. That would have been a long time ago if I talked to him.
I know, but that would be cool.
Well, yeah, it would be.
Look.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know. That's my favorite picture.
Yeah.
But he told me the reason that he actually got successful is he put blinders on like the horses when they race, because it was all of the negativity around him was dragging him down to where he lose the drive, man. And then when he put the blinders on, he got the drive. He got the initiative.
Absolutely. And I think you have to do that, especially as an artist, because everybody's not mama.
No.
Everybody's not going to like what you do. And I had learned this the hard way. We got out there, and I may have talked about this before, but we put out this Off the Hillbilly Hook song, which was like the first country rap song outside, I think, Chicken with a Train with Cowboy Troy. And it was all of a sudden, it was like, okay, there's this 450, 460 pound man then, got up to 500 pounds, but guy in overalls rapping with this hot chick and this punk rocker beside him, you know. And we thought everybody was going to love it, you know, because everybody out there, you know, we had a massive, you remember the following we had here, and everybody loved us. We had all these frat people that loved us, and so we thought everybody was going to love it. Well, we put it out there, and I made the mistake of going to the comment section on YouTube. And the first 4 or 5, you're reading like, oh, man, this is awesome. This is cool. This is different. This is fun.
Oh, but you got them keyboard warriors, man.
And listen, this is no joke. This is exactly what it said. I can't believe they let that fat son of a get a record deal. Now, I don't know this person, so I don't know why they even know. They don't even know my mom.
Well, they don't even know you.
But
you know?
they said, and they literally said, I hope he dies of a heart attack on stage. This is not effing country music. And I was like, wow. And of course, I thought, okay, that's one person.
Yeah.
Then I scrolled a few more, and there was another person. Oh, I can't believe this fat ass has got a record deal. What is Toby thinking? Those guys ain't country. This sucks. Why is that girl with those 2 ugly ass dudes? You know, I mean, I was like, hold it, I don't even know y'all. Like, you know, you always have the option to not listen. Like,
yeah, and you hire girls to be in the video, so that's why they're there. It doesn't matter.
Well, we had Crystal in the band with us, you know, and she was, of course, a phenomenal singer, but she was also gorgeous. And me and Butter are, you know, we're everyday guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's what I liked about you when we first met and started talking. I mean, you're just like me, man. You're just trying to make a scratch on the little surface, you know.
And that's the thing is, like, I can't be anybody but me.
Exactly.
And what I've realized is that's what makes you make it. Mm-hmm. Is when you stop worrying about what other people think, and you just be authentically who you are.
Right.
And you look at right now, like Jelly Roll is out there just crushing it.
Oh, dude, he's knocking it.
Authentically who he is. And I remember people, you know, when he first come out on the scene, people were like, "Oh gosh, this guy's never going to make it."
Yeah.
And then he just kept. And of course, he went to every label trying to make it, trying to get stuff to happen, and everybody turned him down. And now they're all wishing, man, I wish we'd have gave him a chance.
Yeah, and that's what's wild because me and my daughter was talking about this outside earlier, and she said, you know, she remembers meeting him and hanging out with him back in the Antioch days.
Oh yeah,
you know, and she just thought it was cool as hell.
You know,
but instead of knocking his fame and knocking his success, what she did as a person, she celebrates what he's done.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
And because she knew him back in the day,
right? And
to see everything that he's went through,
overcome,
all the adversity, everything, and look where he's at.
Well, and you know what? He's still the same good old boy. I ran into him at the airport the other day, and this a couple months ago, so before even this latest batch of massive new fame that's come in.
Oh, yeah.
But he was sitting there, of course, he was waiting on Bunny to get there and everything else, so he was standing there waiting right after he put his security thing in because she was running behind, I guess, and he's sitting there waiting. And I saw him, and he's like, gives me the heads up, you know, and I walk over there, just, you know, chop it up with him for a second, and he's like, man, he goes, you still hate airports? I'm like, yeah, because he remembered I used to be 500 pounds, you know?
Yeah.
Which he's losing. He's actually lost quite a bit of weight right now, but he goes, you still hate airports? I'm like, dude, even when I got down to 240 pounds, I still hated sitting in an airplane seat.
Oh, yeah.
I said, so don't think that's going to go away just because you're losing weight now. I said, because there's just no point in time that an airplane seat is comfortable. If you got somebody in the middle, it ain't comfortable.
Unless you buy your own damn plane.
Well, he'll be able to, he probably won't be on Southwest anymore. I mean, like I said, this is a couple months ago, so now he's probably already got that. But anyways, he was just the same good down. You know, he had signed autographs, and I saw him taking pictures walking through the airport, and he's one of those, you know, kind of like I was back in the day.
Yeah.
He's impossible not to know exactly who he is.
Yeah. And see, that's something, you know, I always thought okay, say I did something and I got rich and famous and made a lot of money and everything. I don't think it would actually change me, you know?
Oh, heck no.
I mean, I'm just me, you know?
Yeah, you're just DB, bro.
I'm just DB.
Hey, listen, and that's the thing. That's one of the things I love when most artists, say all of them.
Not all of them.
We know everybody.
Oh, well, you know.
But most artists are still that same good old country boy or good old country girl that they were. And some of them weren't country. You know, they love music. And we, you know, Nashville's music city for a reason. I mean, all types of music come through here. But
exactly.
Most of them stay humble. Most of them stay kind, you know. Now, what happens is their time becomes less because that means they're taken.
Well,
you know?
Take the CMAs, for example. Everybody's got an itinerary. My assistants are taking pictures as we're sitting here doing this. Julie likes your stuff, man.
Well, I love you too.
But everybody's got an itinerary, and you've got to keep to it. And if you don't keep to that itinerary, then some fans may not get that signature or get that picture.
And the problem is then you get somebody say, "Oh, they were an asshole. They didn't give me a picture." But it's like, no, he had to catch a plane like 20 minutes from now, you know. And I remember and I have to go soon, but the first time I saw Jessica Andrews and got to meet her, of course, we're from the same part of Tennessee.
Right.
But I was at a Predators game, and she sang the national anthem. Mm-hmm. I saw where she left, and I was like, I got to go meet her. You know, she's from right up the road. We were almost the same age, and so I think she might have even been younger than me. Girl had success when she was like 12.
Oh, yeah.
But I left, and she had, of course, she had the I am Rosemary's granddaughter, the spitting image of my father. But she sang the national anthem. I saw her, and I circled her because I want to go and meet her and just say hi, you know.
Yeah.
And I get up there, and, of course, they're trying to rush her out, and she stopped, and she talked to me, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I know you're busy. I said, I'm from Perry County, Tennessee, and I know you're from right up the road in McKenzie. And I said, I just wanted to say it's awesome that you're crushing it. And, you know, all of a sudden this guy that was with her, and she gave me a big hug and said, that's so sweet. This guy that was with her, which ended up being Marcel, who's her husband, he looks at me and says, what do you do? I said, well, I want to be a songwriter. And he says, well, have you written any songs? I said, yeah. He goes, well, then you're poon. Or he said, pal, you're a songwriter.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, if you wrote a song, you're a songwriter. He's like, now there's different levels of success. He goes,
exactly.
You're already doing what you need to do. He goes, and I bet you're writing some cool stuff. And it was probably, I mean, a year later, maybe 2 years later, that we had the record deal with Toby Keith, who was doing all this, and I get set up on a write, and it's with Marcel.
Awesome.
And I didn't know who he was, you know.
Yeah.
So I show up at the thing, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, you know, I'm married to Jessica Andrews. I'm like, whoa. I was like, bro, wait a second. I was like, was you with her at the Predators game when she sang the national anthem? He goes, yeah. I said, do you remember a guy coming up and goes, wait a minute. And I said, check your MySpace. Because I had followed Marcel on MySpace.
Yeah. And
I'd sent him a message and thought he'd never get it. But like I said, I didn't know who he was. I just remembered his name that night and didn't realize he was married to her or any of that other stuff.
Right, right.
So I'm sitting there writing with this guy that the label set up, you know, because he was a hit songwriter. And I said, go check your MySpace. And he opens up his MySpace message. It was like 500. That was when Tennessee was out and he was, you know, star at the time. And he opens it up and it's got the message from me like, hey, man, just want to say how much I appreciate you taking the time to, you know, say what you said tonight. It meant the world to me. And we ended up writing 5 or 6, 7 songs together. And now we're lifelong friends. I book him and Jessica on stuff still. But
awesome.
But it was just cool. It was that sometimes those little bits of motivation, encouragement help people more than you think.
Yeah, they do.
Because you're like, man, I just said that because I was being nice, you know. But that little bit of you being nice made that person believe in themselves a little bit more and push a little bit harder.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's, you know, in the music industry, you got so many days that you're like, dude, why am I doing this? I could make way more money going and doing this or going and doing that, but you'd be miserable. You know, I mean,
well, you've got that creative stuff.
Oh,
you know?
I got to get it out. You know, I get asked because of my personality. I get asked every week, would you come sell insurance for my insurance company? I'll start you off at X, Y, and Z. Would you come and be a real estate agent over here? We'll pay for all your schooling and we'll pay you a salary until you get there.
Right.
Because they know my personality. I get people in. I can sell anything.
Yeah.
But my problem is like, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do the paperwork and I don't want to do the schooling and all that because I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm dyslexic and it would take me literally forever to go through all that. But I'm just like, they're like, but you make so much money. I'm like, but I already make good enough money.
Yeah.
They're like, well, yeah, but you can make more. I'm like, but I don't need to make more. And I think it's hard for some people to get that in their head. Like, I know there's paths to more money.
Yeah.
But if I stay on this path, and if it goes right, then there's a path to way more money than you can ever make doing this.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So, but the point isn't about what you do. It's, are you happy in what you're doing?
Yeah.
And for me, it's the journey of whatever you're doing. You know, I enjoy the process of trying to figure out the music business as it continuously changes.
Right every day, man.
Right when you think you got something figured out, all you got to do is this, this, and this. Oh, wait a second, they just closed that down. So now you got to change this, and you got to move this over here.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to X to the 4th power of 14 times Y to the 6th power of 65.
And we quit using that cookie cutter 2 weeks ago, and we're on to this set now.
Yeah. Got to figure out what we're doing 2 years from now, okay?
Yeah.
But anyways, look, I love you, man. I'm sorry I got to cut this short. We're going to do it again because you're right up the road from me now.
Yeah, because I'm just right here. And
in my studio, not mine, but the one we rent out, is down in Murfreesboro.
Okay, cool.
So you're going to have to come. We're going to cross-pollinate and share some listeners.
Oh, yeah. And hell, we'll just sit back and have some stories and good conversations.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, like, because, you know, you're on here, you're doing the interview and all this stuff, but I want people to know your story and what got you here and what made you tick.
Dude, it's sick and twisted.
That's what I need on my podcast. It's called the Refined Life Podcast. Yeah, and you have to type in Refined Life Podcast, or you'll never find it, because apparently that was a popular word in the podcast world. And apparently everything is a popular word, unless you use the David Bradley show.
Yeah.
Was there another David Bradley?
There was.
That son of a bitch ain't the real David Bradley.
Wait a minute now. There is David Bradley on YouTube, and it's the actor.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, he's the one that did all the Harry Potter stuff.
Oh crap!
Do you remember the Castle Butler dude?
Nope.
The one that had the black cat. And he was on Game of Thrones, and
dang,
he was on all kinds of stuff.
What was he in Game of Thrones? Because I love Game of Thrones.
I don't remember his name
Potter,
on Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, dude, that was.
Yeah.
I got sucked in. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it till all 8 seasons were on the thing, and I got sucked in one night. And my wife's like, "Are you coming to bed?" It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, "Babe, this show." And so I get her to watch one episode with me, and she's like, "I will never watch this show again."
Okay, according to the note, he was Walder Frey, Red Wedding.
Oh, yes.
So that's David Bradley, the actor.
Well, let me put a little PSA out there to David Bradley.
Yes.
Number 2.
Okay.
You might have been on Game of Thrones, and you might have been in Harry Potter, and you might have started off in whatever you started off in, but there's only one David Bradley to me, and he's sitting right here.
Nah, I appreciate it.
Bam.
Boom.
Hey, this is the David Bradley Show. I'm Bigg Vinny. We're cutting out.
We're out of here. Y'all have a good one, and see y'all tomorrow.